Hi, I'm JJ, and you're listening to Microphone Munchies. Food for thought, they'll get you hungry for more. So, happy belated New Year, happy Chinese New Year, or happy Lunar New Year if you celebrate. And I don't know if I wished you Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays back then as well, but I hope all of you are doing well. I've been away for a little bit. Number one, I've been lazy. Number two, I've been studying. I had COVID for a bit as well earlier, but now that's all good. And yeah, really been studying and just kind of been catching up with like my masters and stuff. Some of you know that I'm doing my masters right now, so sorry I haven't really been back. And the reason why I'm back, actually, thank you so much for my listeners and for those of you who are watching this on YouTube. Hello. I want to say thank you for my friends, my listeners, and also my some of my students, because it's because of you that I'm doing this and trying to do more of this again. So we'll see. I don't know if it's going to be every week. I don't know if it's just going to be whenever I feel like it, but I'll try to make stuff for you. So please let me know. You can write in the comments. You can message me on Instagram is probably the best, or email. I think Instagram was probably the best. At the JJ Wong, I think, is the one I'm going to use for now. But let me know if there's anything you want to see or you want to hear about so I can talk about it. But without further ado, today's one is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be about a drink. It's a drink that I've been addicted to. It's not a new addiction per se. It kind of ebbs and flows. Sometimes I drink this a lot, sometimes I don't. Since I was studying so much, it's so cold here in Toronto, I've been drinking this a lot. And that drink is mate, or Yerba Mate, or match, or Yerba Mate, or Chimarrão, depending on which country you're from, depending on how you pronounce it or what you know it as. So what is mate? So for those of you who are watching on YouTube, you'll be able to see me. If you're just listening to this as a podcast, keep in mind, I do have a YouTube channel. I upload the same podcast on YouTube as well. So you can see the video version in case you want to, I don't know, see my face, see the way I'm pronouncing things, or just I don't know, just to watch. It's on YouTube as well. So you can just search for JJ Wong and it should be there. But anyway, so this is mate, if you can see me. I don't have a gourd, unfortunately. Mine's made of steel. Mine's made of steel. And you can see this very beautiful straw, which is known as a bombilla or a bombisha or a bomba. And sorry, I'm actually out of this round. But this is a mate. This is mate, sorry. And mate, basically what it is, to put it very, very simply, and if, you can do your own research as well. But to put it simply, it's kind of like, think of it kind of like tea or coffee. It's a natural plant. I don't know if I'd consider it an herb, but it's a natural plant. And originally it was drunk primarily by indigenous tribes in South America, such as the Guaraní and the Tupí people. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing those names, but this is just what I'm seeing, for example, on Wikipedia, on Google. And before the Europeans came to South America, it predates European colonization of the Americas. So what's so special about this drink? It's super popular in Argentina, in Uruguay, in southern parts of Brazil, and in Paraguay, as well as other places around that region, southern Chile, I think, some parts of Bolivia as well. And it's also really popular, surprisingly or not, if you know the history, in certain parts of the Levant. So Levant? So Syria and Lebanon, especially among the Druze and the Alawite people. And that is because in the late 19th century and the early 20th century, a lot of immigrants from Syria especially, they were in those areas in South America, and a lot of them didn't drink alcohol. So the story goes that they saw this. It's a very social drink. Usually you kind of pass it around in a circle, like very similar and a little bit similar, in my opinion, to like shisha culture, where you can share it with friends or share it with just people in general. And the story goes that the immigrants from Syria, they saw this drink, they fell in love with it, and they brought it back to Syria and Lebanon. And before the Syrian war, I believe, I'm not sure about now, but Syria was actually the largest importer of mate in the world. It's such a part of their culture that some of them actually think it's theirs. And so that's a really interesting thing about how movement of people and history and all of that intersect. But what is this drink? Well, this drink, and the reason why I'm drinking it is caffeinated. So it does, give you a little bit of energy. It gives you feelings of wakefulness. And I would say I really love this drink primarily because it's not as crazy as coffee. When you drink coffee, you get like, and then all of a sudden you so you crash, right, after you drink coffee. And with tea, I really like it too. But with tea, the problem for me personally is that sometimes it gets too strong, or sometimes, your tea gets cold and then it's not fun to drink anymore. And it's just, you drink it and then I have to get a new tea bag, or I have to brew a pot of loose leaf tea. And it's a process and all of this stuff. Personally, I drink my tea and my coffee black usually. So if you like that kind of bitterness, if you like the tannins, the astringency, I think it's called. If you like those kind of flavors, you will love mate probably. If you don't like those, there are people who sweeten their mate. They'll put sugar or they'll put honey or other things, but I just drink it as is. I love it because with mate, you get a little bit of a buzz, a little bit of energy, but it's pretty chilled. It's pretty sustained. So you don't go super high and you don't go super low. There's no real mate crash. And so I drink it. Of course, I believe there's like no or next to no calories if you just drink it without adding sugar. And yeah, one thing that I love about mate is the fact that you can keep refilling it. In fact, I believe that with most of it. So here's my thermos. It's vacuum sealed, just a basic water bottle, to be honest. Maybe eventually I'll get a proper thermos. But one thing I love is you put hot water in. You put hot water in this baby, and it can keep the water for hours, right? It can keep it hot for hours. And then as you're studying or as you're living your life, what you do is you just refill. And you can probably refill it like 15 to 20 times, or it depends on the type of mate you have and the cut and the variety and the brand, all of that. But you can probably refill it quite a bit, from, let's say, the shortest maybe 5 to 20 times, depending on if you have mate or chimarrão or whatever. And you can fill it before it becomes washed, or as they say, lavado in Spanish. So you can refill it and then you just keep drinking it till you get to that slurp. And then boom, you refill it and you keep going. And what I love about this is when you're studying, for those of you who are students, for those of you who are on the computer a lot, you're working from home, this is a great drink because I don't need to stand up all the time to get a refill. I can keep my hot water with me. In fact, I think the best temperature for most mate is not boiling. It's actually kind of like, in Celsius, it would be 60 to 70, maybe 80 at a stretch, 60 to 70 degrees Celsius. So you think of it almost like with green tea. You don't want it super hot. But you have one of these bad boys or bad girls. You have one of these with you, maybe a bigger one. You have a beautiful gourd of mate. And you can just drink for hours and hours. And that's what happens with me. I usually have one and I keep it for maybe a few hours as I'm studying or as I'm working. And it's just like your friend. When you feel a little bit low on energy, you just get boop and you get more energy back. So that's what I love. There are many, many brands out there. I'm trying to explore more. I have a few right now. Here, if you are on YouTube, you'll be able to see it. But this one is Rosamonte from Argentina. So this one's a really popular brand in Argentina. I just finished, so I need to go restock on other ones. I've got another one, actually 2 more from Argentina right now. One's called Amanda, which is another one from Argentina. I don't know if it's as popular, but I've seen it around. Another one is called Pipore. This one is interesting just because most of the time, at least the ones you see here in Toronto, Canada, there's Arabic on it. And you can find this really easily in Arabic malls, Arabic shops, especially those that serve Lebanese and Syrian customers. And this one is also very popular, I believe, in Syria and Lebanon. All three of those are from Argentina, and they're all different types of mate. And then here, I have another one called Chimarrão. And this one is from Brazil, from southern Brazil, I believe. And this is Yerba Mate. Yerba Mate, or Chimarrão. And this one is a little bit, I would say it's a little bit different because it's more powdery. When you get into mate universe, you will start to explore, different countries prefer different cuts, how many stems or palo there is compared to the leaf, compared to the polvo, compared to the polio, the powder. Polvo. I always get it wrong, so sorry, forgive me if my Spanish or Portuguese. I don't know if I'm speaking Spanish or Portuguese right now, but there's different types, different cuts, different varieties. The Chimarrão usually is more fresh. It's not aged as much, if I remember correctly. It's not usually roasted as much. And so that's kind of like, it's very similar to Japanese matcha, where it's very fresh and very grassy. Whereas, for example, here, I don't know if you can see it, but this one's Rosamonte, and there is that, it's a little bit aged, it's roasted. Sorry, you can't really see it, but it's aged, it's roasted, and it's got that roasted feeling. If you love espresso, I think you'd prefer this, like the more Argentinian styles. And if you love more matcha, or if you like more green tea, I think if you more smooth, if you don't like the bitterness, then Chimarrão might be better for you. But please Google how to drink it. There is a technique, and it does change completely your experience. There's one YouTube channel in particular. I don't know them personally, but I definitely recommend them, especially for English speakers. And they're called Circle of Drink. And they have so much information on different types of mate, different types of Chimarrão, how to drink it, what to do, the culture, all this stuff. And it's amazing. It really becomes a lifestyle. I know I sound like a cultist. I know I sound like I'm in some sort of weird mate club, but it is kind of a lifestyle because it's like meditation. Typically, I believe in Argentina and in Uruguay, in Brazil, and in Paraguay. Actually, in most of these cultures, it's a very social activity. I just drink it alone at home because I don't have any friends. But if you did have friends, you would share it around in a circle. And there are certain etiquettes, certain rules that you have to follow as part of this social activity. But it's great. It's wonderful. That's it. Nothing really too special about this episode. I just wanted to show you and share my new love for this drink. In Toronto, I actually first started drinking this at a Argentinian cafe called El Almacén, but I don't know if they exist anymore. I think they might actually be permanently closed according to Google Maps. But I do recommend, if you have any friends from those regions that I said, or if you have any friends who love to drink this, ask them how to do it. Everyone has their own flavor, their own style, their own way, their own little like intricacies, their own little idiosyncrasies. And so it's just an amazing drink. It's an amazing drink. I can't stress how much I love it. I wouldn't recommend drinking it right before bedtime because you probably cannot sleep. But during the day, during the afternoon even, it's amazing. So that's it for me for today. I just hope that if you have never had mate before, you think about trying it maybe, especially if you love drinking coffee black. So if you love drinking your coffee without sugar, without milk, without cream, then this is definitely something to try. And if you love green tea, especially if you love really fresh matcha from Japan, you would probably want to try Chimarrão from Brazil. So that's it. If you have any questions or comments, let me know. If I'm completely wrong about anything, please let me know as well. That's fine. I'm just a beginner in this world of mate and match and Chimarrão, and it's just really, really great, and I hope you get to try it. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, I sound like a business. If you have any questions or anything, please leave them in the comments. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite brand, because I want to try all of them in the future. So let me know if you have a favorite brand. Another brand I really love is Canarias, which is made in Brazil, but it's an Uruguayan brand with an Uruguay type of cut. When I say cut, I mean the way they prepare the mate. So different cuts have different flavors. I said that already. You'll explore yourself. And please, feel free to share this with your friends who love mate or who might want to love mate. And also feel free to subscribe. Hit the bell notification if you're on YouTube so that you can see when I upload new videos. And thank you so much, everyone, for listening, for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. So that's JJ out.